you. So in the interest of time, so we don't take up 12 minutes of your time, I will try to be as succinct as possible. First, I'd just like to say thank you to you, Legislator Gonzalez, for meeting with the Valley Stream superintendents last week, as well as the BOCES superintendent, to hear our concerns regarding the return of the Green Acres Mall to the tax rolls. Since that meeting, we have been informed by our state Senator Todd Kaminsky that the state intervention that we heard was being sought would be unconstitutional, and that the state legislature is not going to be acting on any bill regarding that, and that state legislation is not needed for the Nassau County legislation to return the mall to the rolls. This afternoon, I ask on behalf of all of the Valley Stream superintendents standing here today that efforts be made to help the parties involved in terms of making this decision completed. And what I'm talking about here is that the title of the property needs to be transferred back to its original owner. I ask and I offer that the county attorney offer an opinion in regards to the process to return the mall to the rolls. The correction of errors is an administrative hearing that can be led by this legislative body. I cannot stress enough the importance of this act. $14 million, approximately $10 million to the Valley Stream 30th Central School District, approximately $3.5 million to the town and county, and approximately $70,000 to the village of Valley Stream, could be unnecessarily shifted to the residents because the mall is not on the rolls or paying pilots. By my calculation, you could see taxpayers paying upwards towards an additional $1,500 in taxes next year above the $1,000 that was already paid last year. $2,500 increase in taxes is unconscionable and unnecessary. I remind everyone that these increases have nothing to do with the school districts increasing their budgets because most of our expenses were covered by state aid. I also remind everyone that the residents have already absorbed the $6 million discount given to the mall last year and no correction given there. And please note that the Valley Stream 30 district has already lowered its tax levy in a way to return any excess pilot money received this year. This is an issue for all property owners in Valley Stream paying their fair share, which includes the mall, which at this time needs to be back on the rolls. Each district in Valley Stream has its own perspective on how the pilot has negatively affected the residents. Putting the mall back on the rolls will address all of our concerns. School closes this Friday, families go on vacation, and the August 15th drop dead date to submit the tax levy is required. Please help us to avoid this unprecedented situation of having a mall not on the tax rolls and not paying pilots, and requiring the school to levy more taxes than needed because the mall continues to be in limbo or involved in potential litigation. I thank you for listening, and I ask you, please help us avoid a situation that will not be able to be explained away because every individual, regardless of party, position, will be looked at in terms of the situation happened on our watch. Thank you.
I believe last week we did meet and we discussed the possibility of the state passing the legislation that would return Green Acres back to the tax roll. and unfortunately, we heard the same thing as you did. And so I'm not going to, I'm going to turn it over to a gentleman who's been working closely with you on this issue, and it's Legislator Phil Gaylor. And then I have Legislator Salagis, okay? Legislator Gaylor.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer, and thank you, Dr. Sterling, for your comments. Because it's true, there's no doubt that we don't disagree with you. We do agree with you that Green Acres needs to be placed back on the tax roll. And to that point, I offered some legislation at the state level which proposed a solution to do that, as I've been informed by the county attorney's office that that's the only mechanism to return Green Acres to the tax roll. New York State real property law governs the means by which an exempt property can be restored to the tax rolls. And the county just can't unilaterally make this change without state legislation amending the real property tax law to allow it. Our taxpayers look to us for solutions. The solution offered, one of the proposed solutions that I offered was legislation at the state level. Senator Kaminsky and Assemblywoman Salagis should approve the suggested legislation. I don't agree with their opinion that it's not constitutional. They don't have the power to offer a solution here. They have vast resources at the state level that they can employ to direct a solution of this matter. They just haven't engaged them yet, for whatever reason. It's not enough to sit there at the state level and say that my proposed legislation, when I say my, it's this body's proposed legislation, can't be enacted. They have the resources to say, this is what we can do to put the Green Acres back on the tax roll. This is how we can change the proposed legislation. This is the means by which we can satisfy the taxpayers in Valley Stream and the school districts affected by the pilot. They just haven't acted. So it's time for them to either step up to the plate and tell us what the solution is, because the solution, I don't believe, lies here at the county. Either the parties themselves, the town of Hempstead IDA and the Green Acres mall ownership, are gonna come to a resolution, the court is, or the state's gonna pass some legislation directing that Green Acres be put back on the tax roll. So I think that your comments are right on. Something needs to happen quickly. I think though that the next step might be to direct your comments directly to the town of Hempstead board and the town of Hempstead IDA, and try to get them to come to a quicker resolution. I just don't see the problem being fixed right here at the county at this stage in time. That's all I have, Madam Presiding Supervisor.
Thank you, Madam Presiding.
Legislator Salagis.
Thank you very much, Madam Presiding Officer. Good afternoon, and good afternoon to all the superintendents for being here, and also to the residents of Valley Stream. Could any of the residents who have been affected by this, can they stand up? I understand that there are some people here.
I would like to make a statement.
Okay.
As
Yes,
a
ma'am.
long-time resident.
I'll make a brief statement.
After Legislator Salagis speak,
Yes.
I will be only too happy to have you speak as well. All right? I'm over here, y'all right here. Okay? Legislator Salagis will speak, and then I will give you the opportunity to address. Okay?
As I state, I would like to know if there's a representative here from the county attorney's office. Is there a representative here from the county attorney's office? Well, I'd like to state on the record that I would like to receive a written opinion from the county attorney's office as to whether a correction of errors proceeding can be commenced by the county to initiate at least the start of the process for the mall to be placed back on the tax roll. That is very important to have a legal opinion from the county attorney's office on this issue. If the county attorney does advise that we can proceed with a correction of errors proceeding, then I ask that it be done immediately. Thank you. So, Mr. Becker, can you speak on behalf of the county?
Liz Slodge had no idea this was coming up this afternoon. Could you just get something to me in writing, specifically the question you want to ask, and I'll make sure the county attorney's office gets it? Okay?
Yes, I'll do so. Thank you.
The young lady.
And just for the record, I did request this on the record at the last legislative session, and there has been no opinion nor action by the county executive or the county attorney's office.
There's a young lady who'd like to speak, come to the podium. It's okay.
My voice is loud enough, I don't really need the microphone. I've been here many, many years, and I've never seen such a mess in this county. I have to tell you, I have spoken before this body many, many times in the past. However, you folks here in the county, whether it be IDA, whether it be the county of Santana, whoever has created this mess, you are bound to undo it. Don't find a million excuses. It's this law, it's this tie-up, it's that, it's the other. Fix it. If your kid went into your dining room and broke some of your china, you would be very unhappy, and you'd say, you're gonna pay to fix it. And I have to tell you, this body is going to pay unless it is fixed very, very soon. We are tired of listening to excuses.
Okay, are you Rose Eisner?
I am Rose, yes.
I want for the record, her name is Rose Eisner.
And you've
Okay.
heard me many times before this body.
Okay, Rose.
And I have to tell you, it's time enough to talk. Let's see some action and give us back what you stole from us, which you actually did steal from us by your inaction. It's time